Welcome in now, Lisa Daftari. She's a counterterrorism and foreign policy expert, also the editor-in-chief at the Foreign Desk and host of the Foreign Desk podcast. Great to see you, Lisa. Also joining us, Brian Lieb, director of Iranian Americans for Liberty. You know, since we have you both here, we wanted to ask you, these documents, according to a CNN report earlier this week, some of them were related to China, some were related to the United Kingdom, and some were related to Iran. Lisa, what do you think about this angle of the story and what possible documents? Why would President Biden have these documents?
Right. And, it talks about the sensitivity of this kind of information just laying around, available to be, stolen and passed on. And, look at the optics of all of this. What message does it send to our enemies? And it's no coincidence that during the Biden tenure so far, we have seen our enemies flexing their muscles. And we've seen such egregious behavior from North Korea with its missile tests, and from the Iran regime, who has now doubled down on the protesters and is talking about bringing out their presence in Panama Canal as well, and so many, and the list goes on. We're seeing ISIS will emerge and Al-Qaeda will emerge, and just talking about how irresponsible this is, and why would he have these in his possession? It's a great question. Obviously, serving as vice president under Obama, when we saw the nuclear deal go through, we know that the Biden presidency has been a 2.0 of the Obama presidency with regards to Iran.
And that's really it, right? Like, we know the Trump administration, when they were coming into office, they were going to take out the Iran nuclear deal. You got John Kerry, you got Tony Blinken, you got Jake Sullivan, Brian, and other holdovers from the Obama administration. Do you think it's possible that President Biden wanted to keep these documents someplace so that they could, maybe? We also have reports of John Kerry trying to blow up what the Trump administration was doing when it comes to the Iran deal, talking to the Iranians behind the Trump administration's back. Maybe this is somehow all tied to this.
Well, Lisa's exactly correct. This is Obama 2.0, not just on domestic policy, but most certainly on foreign policy as well, especially when it comes to the Islamic Republic of Iran. And I think, listen, this is the smoking gun for a lot of people in the foreign policy space who have been saying that President Biden has decades of experience of coddling and appeasing the mullahs in Tehran. The finding of these classified documents that now have connections to the Islamic Republic of Iran. I mean, it's just a smoking gun that all of us have been saying is there for a long time now. And it makes sense because when you look at it, you just mentioned some of the hires that President Biden made. I mean, the very first hires that he made, one in particular was Robert Malley, who's the U.S. Special Envoy to Iran, who is just absolutely horrible and feckless and ineffective in everything that he does. In that envoy role. So yeah, I don't think any of us are surprised that these documents are connected to the Islamic Republic of Iran. But this should call, or I should say, I should call, and others should call for congressional leaders to open up a serious investigation into the ties between not just the Biden administration and China, John, but also the Biden administration and the Islamic Republic of Iran.
We've got a couple minutes left here, and I wanted to get an update from you guys both too on these anti-government protests that we've been covering in Iran. We haven't talked much about them in the last couple of weeks, but they followed the death of Mahsa Amini, who was killed last September at the hands of these morality police. So far, there have been more than 500 deaths, according to reports. One Iranian activist telling MSNBC that this is just the beginning. Take a look.
When does this protest become a revolution?
The moment when women, shoulder to shoulder, with men, started to burn headscarves. You know what?
It is already a revolution.
It is a revolution. Look, the more that the regime kill, the more that people get determined to protest against the regime. This is just the beginning of the end.
Obviously, a lot of the information is being suppressed coming out of Iran. Lisa, is that a fair assessment? Are we watching a revolution play out? And if so, who takes control of that country?
Right. I've said this many times also. We've already seen the revolution happen when women feel brave enough to come out and do their mundane tasks without their head coverings. Look, they've been waiting for the international community, spearheaded by the United States and the EU, to to support this movement, and they haven't gotten the type of global support that they want. And now maybe these documents will show us why the Biden administration, again followed by the EU, have been married to a policy of getting back into the JCPOA and not supporting the people of Iran. And that's exactly what needs to be done. It'll be better for the entire world if this largest sponsor of global terror is removed. And of course, our leaders are not going to support regime change, but the people of Iran are saying, if you're not going to help us, don't stand in our way. We're going to create this revolution on our own. And for 4 months, they have shown us that they will not back down, and they will continue on with their revolution.
All right, we got to wrap it up there. We're out of time, unfortunately. Lisa Daftari and Brian Lieb, guys, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.